Good morning. Oh, check that out. I don't know if you guys can see that. The moon's still out. It's just beautiful. Uh, Contrast between the blue sky and the grayish hue of the moon and the green leaves. It's beautiful. Alright, so this is going to be a video for newbies. There's a lot of new people in the metal detecting world. I keep seeing you guys on my Northeast Metal Detecting Facebook page, and also on my YouTube channel. If you guys want to check out my YouTube channel, it's FKF Gold. It's Family Keepers Family Gold. Excuse me, what did I say? Family Keepers? Finders Keepers Family Gold is my YouTube channel, but it's FKF Gold. Anyways, thanks for checking out my videos. You guys are awesome, and like even my TikTok's like blowing up like crazy because of the content of the videos, and you guys are just like eating it up, and I really appreciate it. So anyways, newbie video. Let's see, what are we going to start with? Tools. Let's look at our tools. Number one, you need a metal detector. I'm a big fan of Garrett detectors. I love Garrett detectors. But I was really looking for a metal detector that was completely waterproof, submersible, had lights so I can use it at night, and durability, depth, what else? And affordability. Affordability was a big one. So I ended up going with the Nokta, the Macro Nokta. I'm sorry, Nokta Macro Simplex Plus. That is a big name. Nokta Macro Simplex Plus. So this is my detector. Really, honestly, any detector that you get is gonna do the job. So, but also, you get what you pay for. So, an $80 detector is not going to do what this detector does. This is about a $280 detector, depending on where you go. But man, this detector's been awesome for me. I love it. So that's my primary detector. You need a digging tool. This is a Fisker's shovel. I like the dagger. Excuse me, the dagger look. It looks like a big knife, so like when I'm out here detecting in some shady areas, it looks a little formidable, like, don't mess with that guy, right? And honestly, pay the money for a good pinpointer. You need a pinpointer. This will save you so much time. So I love the Garrett Carrot. This is my go-to. They've got a newer one that if you have a detector that it'll connect wirelessly to your headphones. I don't use headphones personally because I like to be aware of my surroundings. I like to know if somebody's creeping up on me. I like to know if if somebody has questions or whatever. I don't know. I just like the security of hearing what's around me, so I don't use the headphones. So I have two different types of pinpointers. They're not types, they're really brands. So I've got the Nokta pointer. This is my backup, and this is my primary. Okay, and you also need a bag, because one of the key rules for being a metal detectorist is leave the place cleaner than you left it. You dig some trash up, take it out. Don't just leave it there, for two reasons. One, it's really, really annoying to dig up little aluminum pieces of drinks. Those little like pool, it's not a pool tab, but like, oh gosh, on some of the kids' drinks, there's a paper side and a metal side. You peel those off. People put it on the ground. That's the kids, you know, they throw it away. Pool tabs. Oh my gosh. You're gonna find so many pool tabs. It's ridiculous. You know, one cool idea with the pool tabs, maybe you can make yourself some chain mail. I've always thought about doing that. Oh, there's one now, look. And I didn't even need my metal detector. Take your pool tab, or whatever trash you find, put it in your pouch. This is where it goes. Right there. So that's my trash area for my pouch. And this is where the treasure goes. The treasure goes right in here. Ta-da! So, which leads me to the other necessity. You need some kind of means to carry your treasures and to carry out your trash. So you need a pouch. I love this pouch. I got this one for Christmas. Holds my knife, my digging tool. You see that? My pinpointers, my trash, and my finds right here. So yeah, so those are the basic tools that you need. Okay, so on my my Facebook page, it's called Northeast Metal Detecting, or Northeast Metal Detectors, or something like Northeast Metal Detectors. I think that's what it is. Anyways, I asked 3 questions. One of the questions that I ask are, what are the 3 the main rules of metal detecting? And there's a lot of people out there, they don't know. They don't know. They're so new into this hobby that they don't know what the rules are. So I'm going to give you the rules. Rule 1. Always have permission to be on somebody's land. That's key. I'm here in Texas. If you're on somebody's land illegally, man, you can be shot. And that's pretty much the rule anywhere in the United States. So, if you don't want to get shot, have permission to be on the land. Number 2, if you find trash, take it out. You know, always leave the place cleaner than what you found it. And rule number 3 is escaping me right now. Hold on, let me think. What is rule number 3? Oh my gosh, that took me about 10 seconds. This one's a big one. If you dig a hole, fill your holes back in. Fill your holes back in. It's that simple. You know why? Because a lot of times you're going to be metal detecting in a public area like I am right now. This is my honey hole. I'm excited. I need to get into this and see what's here before the kids wake up and decide to come play. Okay? So if you're in a public area, actually a lot of people are paying taxes for that park. They don't want to go to the park and find a bunch of holes dug up from where you ended up finding a bunch of pieces of trash, right? That would irritate me. So if you dig a hole, fill it back up. Now, one other thing about the park. Don't dig big holes. Make the smallest dent in the soil that you can to find your target. If you're even allowed to dig in the park, if you're allowed, great. But don't tear up the grass. The reason I'm saying these things is because it's hard to find places to metal detect. If you start messing up the parks, leaving your holes, leaving your trash, it's gonna mire. It's gonna leave a bad taste in the public, and they're not gonna want people metal detecting in their parks. So please be a good steward of the resources that you have in these parks. They are resources. The kids play in them, families enjoy them, And we also use them as metal detectorists to find some of the lost, treasures that people leave behind. Finders keepers, right? And that's great, but do your best to be a good steward and to protect our hobby. Cool. All right, so that's basically it. All right, let's get into swinging your machine. So I see this so many times. It kills me. Please don't make big arches because you're missing so many targets. It's not even funny. Watch. This is how you should be swinging your machine. All right, so this is your coil. Okay, you see how your coil is flat? Nice and flat. This should be level to the ground. You should not be arching when you're swinging, and it's a natural motion when you're swinging your arm because you're going back and forth and your wrist kind of rotates with your shoulder. But you need to keep this level to the ground. For example, a lot of times I see people just kind of walking, going like this, but no. Rotate your shoulder, rotate your whole body so that you've got your coil nice and level to the ground. Okay? Don't do this. Do this. All right, so if you're able to master the way that you manage your coil, your swing, that's one way to maximize your finds. So if you really learn how to keep your coil flat when you're swinging and you take your time, it's not a race. It's not a race. Just take your time metal detecting, enjoy the fresh air. Enjoy the parks, enjoy the outdoors, and keep that coil nice and flat and about an inch or so above the ground, and you'll find lots and lots of treasure and lots of trash, because let's just be honest, that's what we mostly find is the trash. But every once in a while, in between those piles of trash, we find the treasure. So okay. All right, so now you've got a metal detector, right? You got to turn it on. Turn your detector on. I'm not going to go over the different settings of my detector or of detectors, because it would be very difficult to do because everybody's detectors are different. So, just in a nutshell, I have a digital screen. I've got different settings. I've got a farm setting, 2 park settings, beach setting, and this is for relics. Okay. I metal detect for I discriminate, which means I tell my detector not to look for iron. Okay, I don't like finding iron objects in the parks because I'm not looking for iron. I'm looking for precious metals. I'm looking for silver, gold. I'm looking for lost coins, right? So there we go. And on everybody's detector, you will have your battery power, most likely, your depth. So this is basically my sensitivity. This is what I'm telling my detector to do. The higher the sensitivity, the deeper your detector will go. However, it'll also start picking up like random things, like even just any like simple small minerals in the soil. It will pick it up. And so I usually, when I'm metal detecting in the parks, I notch it up to 2 or 3. Okay? And then this over here, this is the depth of the target. This will tell me how deep the target is. So between these two things and this range up here for the Simplex Plus, it gives you a number range. 90s would be a quarter. 70s, between 70 and 80, it's a dimes. Nickels are over here around 25 range. Gold is here between 30 and 40. Okay, and then you've got a bunch of settings down here. Now, here's the last thing that I'm going to show you before we get into metal detecting. Ground balance. What is ground balancing and why is it important? So ground balancing is when you set your detector to pick up the soil, the mineralization of the soil in that particular area. Okay, so this is important because it helps your detector to find the good targets more efficiently. Okay, so ground balancing is important. So if pull out your manuals for your particular detector, YouTube it, Google it, try to find out how to ground balance for your detector. All right, so here's the basics for ground balancing for my detector. Find an area that's clear of any mineralization or any targets. Okay, so I'm swinging, there's nothing there. Okay, now I'm gonna go here. This little thing right here is representative of the coil. Okay, and then I am going to hit this button right here and just shake. Wow, that's the lowest ground balance. My ground balance is usually around 70 or 80. 35. That's interesting. Anyways, so now I'm ground balanced. I'm going to reset it. So now my detector is good to go for this soil type. Every time I go to a new place, I'm going to ground balance because I want my detector to understand or to be programmed for the type of soil that I'm going to be working. All right, let's find some treasures. Okay, so there's a couple areas that I love to detect when I hit the parks. Okay, I'm going to give you 3 hints. I don't want to give away all of my tools of the trade. You know, I want you to go out and find your own. But here's 3 areas when you're just beginning to find some good things. When you're just starting out. Right behind me, you see a jungle gym. You see where the kids will be on the monkey bars and stuff. That's an area where the kids could be, going upside down or whatever. They might, drop their loose change or whatever. So I've had some pretty good luck around the jungle gyms. Number 1. Number 2, slides. Just at the base of the slides or on the sides, adjacent to the slide, where people might be going down the slide and they might have some jewelry on and it slips off their hands. Okay, the other place that I absolutely, and I usually hit up first before the kids get to the park, the swings. Okay, so that's it for my tips: swings, jungle gyms, and the slides. So check out those areas. You'll probably find some good stuff. Really check out the swings. That's where I find all my rings. Don't tell anybody though. It's a secret. something you should definitely take out of the parks when you're metal detecting the parks for the safety of the kids. I don't know, I come across these stray pieces of metal all the time. Look at this. It's a tetanus shot waiting to happen. So when you're metal detecting the parks and you find stuff like this, you know, we're providing a public service. So take this out, protect the kids. Also, that brings me to one other thing I should have mentioned earlier. It's one of the last things we think about when it comes to metal detecting. Safety, your own personal safety. You should be wearing gloves. You never know what you're going to come across. I've got my gloves in the Jeep. On the next video that I show you, or the next portion, I don't want to reveal because I got something big happening. But in this next video, where I'm going to be metal detecting next, I will be wearing my gloves. Yeah, I sliced my finger up pretty good. Which one was it? This one. Anyways, because I had a really good target, opened it up, put my hand down in the hole, slice. I felt it immediately. It was a jagged edge of an aluminum can. It was, oh my gosh, blood everywhere. And I had to stop my hunt. I had to go home and clean it up. And yeah, so gloves, imperative for what we do.